So just so y'all are aware, I'm not farting. I actually have this, it's like one of those foldable chairs. If I move certain directions, it's very loud. So just giving you a pre-warning, it's not gas. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today's look is going to be a nice brown smoky eye with a really bold red lip. So if you want to see how I got this full glam smoky eyed look, then just keep on watching. So I've got a lot of things that are brand new to me that I have not ever tried, and some things that I've tried in the past but I don't remember if I liked them or not, so I picked them up again. First thing I'm going to do is apply this vitamin C tonic. It is from Pixi. It's one of their skin treats toners, and I have been using the retinol one at night. I'm actually almost out of that one. I haven't seen like a huge like difference as far as like anti-aging, you know, that whole claim with retinol, but what I have seen is just like really nice clear skin that just feels really smooth and plump. I like using a toner specifically when I prep for makeup. You definitely don't want to use like a retinol toner during the day because it makes your skin a lot more sensitive to the sun. So I like using the vitamin C. It's also an antioxidant, so it will actually help protect against the sun during the daytime. So started off with that. BT Deb, I have the Aquaphor Lip Protectant Sunscreen on my lips currently. I'm going to let this just kind of dry down a little bit. I have my regular moisturizer that I like to use on a day-to-day basis just to hydrate the skin prior to application. And then I also have a pore blurring primer. So I'm going to test that one out today. So this one's by Makeup Revolution. It's the Pore Blur and Prime Primer. So it comes out kind of like a mousse texture. I don't know if y'all can, it really doesn't have a color, so you're probably not going to be able to see it, but it feels very smoothing. It feels like it has dimethicone in it. Yep, that's the first ingredient. Okay, which is really good for pore filling, just to kind of get up in there and really smooth things out. The best thing to do with dimethicone products is to really like work them into the skin. So, and I wouldn't apply it everywhere. You don't need dimethicone, you don't need pore blurring all over your face because really your pores are kind of concentrated mainly in this area. So I'll just kind of, and again, you don't want to pull too hard at your skin, but you do want to like really push it into the skin so that the dimethicone or the pore blurring primer will really kind of sink into those pores and just make everything nice and smooth. I'm going to use the Ultra Repair Cream. If y'all have been following my channel for any length of time, I've been using this for 4 years and I stand by it. It's by First Aid Beauty. I'll give you, but I just love this stuff. I really am a believer that this does something because I used to have dry skin, especially I found in the, well, I think it was more weather related. So in the winter time specifically, I would get really dry skin. And I haven't really had dry skin since using this product several years ago. So I stand by it, use it every single day. And I usually, you know, of course, during the daytime, I'll actually mix it with my facial sunscreen. Considering it is like 6:15, we're not going to need to do that. So, you know, by the time I go outside, the sun will be done. So what I want to do while all my products on my face are really sinking into the skin is I want to start with my brow product. Now, this is a new product for me. This is the Morphe Brow Cream, and it's in the shade Macadamia. Honestly, I don't know if I have ever used a pomade. Like, I thought maybe I had at one point, but now I'm second guessing myself, so maybe I haven't. So this is what it looks like. It's a nice little jar here, kind of the same type of jar you'd find with like a gel liner. Okay, I'm going to use this brow brush. It has a brush on one end and a spoolie on the other. It's Morphe. I have a feeling it came in one of those brush collections that I purchased a long time ago, so it doesn't have like a number or name or anything. First, I'm going to brush my brow hairs up. I personally like to start shaping at the very beginning, but I know some people don't like doing that because it can be harsh if you start off in the beginning. Just how I like to do. Wow, this is, it's kind of got like a reddish vibe to it. Like it's got like a reddish undertone. I don't know, like a very faint, not the typical shade that I'm used to. The typical thing that I use is the Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil in the color Taupe. Their range was kind of limited, and I think that this was the lightest shade they had, and the shade up from that would have been too dark. So I'll clean it up later. It's a little messy right now. I'm not a big fan of this brow brush. I don't think I've used it before. Or I might have used it. I think I have used it for like Halloween makeup when I do like different brow looks. But it just kind of makes the brows look a little thick. I don't know. It's so light. Like it's just like, let me show you guys. So this is the Wet n Wild, and this is the one I'm currently using. And so you can see how much darker the Wet n Wild one is. We'll see. Let me just do the other brow. And then, like I said, I'm going to clean it up because right now it is looking a hot mess, okay? Just trust the process. Again, I think that that's why I've always been kind of weary about these types of pomades. Avery, sorry if you'll hear my cat. I just think it's like really thick, and it's hard to not go overboard with the thickness on these. Curious what y'all are thinking right now. Like, is it brow good? Is it too unnatural? I mean, it does go with my hair really well. Like, I'll say that the color does match my hair pretty well. I just typically go for a little bit of a darker brow. So that's that. The concealer looks a little weird right now. Currently I'm using the e.l.f. It's the 16-hour Camo Concealer. With primers, like I typically set this with powder, so it makes it a very, like nothing's gonna stick to it in a good way. Like I feel like sometimes when you don't set it, things can get a little patchy. By the way, I'm using the Real Technique sponge. I typically go between that or the Eco Tools one. But I do like this one because it has a point to it, whereas the Eco Tools doesn't. And this one you can really get into the crease of your eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that, and I'm going to use the Maybelline FITMe pressed powder. I don't currently have a new powder to show you all. I just haven't picked a new one up lately. I've used the FITMe powders for years, and I should probably branch out and try something different. But it's just such a good price point for what it is. I do want to use this NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. I have used this in the past, and I feel like it would be a really good shade match, hopefully, for this pomade. I just feel like this pomade is probably going to move throughout the night, so I kind of want to set it. And it's, like I said, really nice that it is a similar color to it than the pomade. So I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Smokey Obsessions palette, and also I may use the brown from this Mauve Obsessions. It's like a more cool tone brown in the middle here. I think I might want to do like a light brown on the lid just as a transition. So I'm going to go into my bronzing palette. This is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder by Essence. So I think I might take this like a light brown shade and just dust it over the lid just as a nice base for what we're doing. My camera battery is about to die on me, so I'm gonna have to stop this and put a new one in, which is not fully charged yet. I don't know why these batteries, this is the Nikon or the Canon G7X, and these batteries do not last for shit. Like I've not even been on here an hour, and it's already, yeah, it's been literally 35 minutes and it's already dying on me. And I just put in a battery that was fully loaded, like with charge. So not really sure why they don't ever last, and it's really freaking annoying. That's why I had to buy 2 batteries, because they do not last. So anyways, I'm just going to finish up this eye with doing just like the base, and then we'll go from here. You don't have to watch me do this over and over again. Alright, so I've got a nice base of that brown on. Now I'm going to go in, I think, with this, the Mauves palette, this kind of really pretty cool tone brown. And I'm going to use I think I kind of want to use like a smaller tapered brush. This is the Morphe E17. So I'm just applying this all over the lid and a little bit up into the crease. It's not quite as opaque as I was wanting it to be, so I may go in with a different shade. This is like not quite what I was going for. It just looks like I am sick, so okay, this is my well-loved Jaclyn Hill palette. I've had this for years, and it is so dirty. Lots of pans hit. I think I used this shade right here. See, that's a little bit, see how much darker that is? So that's kind of what I was going for. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, I think, use this one right here. If y'all can see that. See how we're just kind of building that up? I'm not really, there's not really no, it's a smoky eye, so there's really no like precision or like rhyme or reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just trying to coat the lid with that shade, really darken it up. I don't want to go too high up because then it'll start looking muddy. So I'm keeping it like a little bit lower. I do want to maybe bring this out a little bit. Just want to kind of smoke it out just a little bit, just like a tiny little bit, just to make the eyes, like when I do the liner too, it'll just make things look a little bit more almond shaped. So I'm going to take that brush that I've just used for that, and then I just want to really blend those edges in so that we get this like soft smoke and it's not like patchy, if that makes sense. Now going in with the Huda Beauty, the black shade. So I'm using the Cozette 5185. And you can find Cozette on their website, and I believe maybe some other online retailers. Okay, so let's see how smoky that is. It'll look really like a lot better when I put everything together. So what I'm going to do is take some makeup remover, just this like simple micellar water. I don't use this to take off my makeup at night. I just use it for this purpose, to just kind of clean things up. Actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a liner next. Once we get the face going, that'll just a lot of like with smoky eyes and kind of smoky looks like this, it's just a lot of blending. So man, I am so pale. Things about smoky eyes is it makes you look more pale than you already are. So I'm gonna go in with this Tattoo Studio by Maybelline, and I think I may have used this like once or twice, but I don't remember. And I typically like a felt tip, and I really love the NYX Epic Ink liner. I've been using that for years, but I wanted to kind of branch out. I'm not wanting anything too dramatic. I think I just want a line to have as the base for my lashes. Because I think a smoky eye speaks for itself. You really do not need an extravagant wing when you have such a smoky look. I mean, it does the job, and it's nice and matte when it dries down, and it's not too hard to work with. I definitely recommend the Epic Ink liner. Like, that's my favorite. I'm going to apply foundation now, and I'm using the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation. I am excited to try this. First of all, let's talk about how luxury that bottle is. This was, I think, less than $10, and it's heavy. It's a glass bottle. It's got a pump on it. It is like, it reminds me, it's giving me like very like NARS vibes, but so much cheaper. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping that this is like a new staple in my routine if I like it. It is a satin finish, so hopefully it will, you know, really just kind of make everything seamless and soft, not overly matte, but not dewy. So right off the bat, it's definitely thick, and this is in the shade Pearl. As you can see, it's pretty light. I mean, I can always bronze it up and make it like, you know, more my shade. I'm wondering, because it's so thick, if it's going to be too dry. because right now it's just seeming pretty dry. I don't know if I'm gonna love it. It's just not as full coverage. I'm really having to work hard at evening this out. It's very patchy. It's so light. I don't understand. It doesn't look that light in here. It doesn't look that light when you first put it on your skin. I'm really confused at like why this is so pale, and it's literally not covering anything. You can still see all my freckles. I literally feel like it didn't do anything. At least it got rid of some of the redness. Not loving this product so far, unfortunately. I'm really bummed about that. Next, I have this concealer. It's the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting. This is too yellow. Sorry if there's like a change in lighting. My camera is not the best. I think it blends in actually pretty nice. It's weird because, I mean, you have like a really pale foundation and you have like this little, like kind of yellowy concealer that it was like, oh my gosh, like it's so contrasting. It's not gonna work. I really do not like this foundation. I need to set the under eyes. I'm using the Maybelline FITMe loose powder. I like the loose powder for under the eyes just because I feel like it just does amazing things. I'm gonna use this, it's a tapered brush. It doesn't have a number on it. I think it's rubbed off, but it's Real Techniques like Duo Fiber brush. It's supposed to be a satin foundation, but it looks more matte to me than anything. All right, I'm gonna use this brush. I love this little brush. It's so cute. It's just a Real Techniques also 201 brush. And I'm going to grab our pressed powder, use that on the rest of the face. And I don't want to drag because that will definitely disrupt. I feel like it, more than anything, this product, like with this foundation, will not do you any favors when blending on top of it. So just because it is like more dry, it might cling. So you just want to pat. We're gonna use that same bronzing palette. All right, I'm using this big fluffy paddle brush. It reminds me a lot of the Marc Jacobs brush. It's definitely not as soft, not as good quality because it's from CVS, but they have like this Korean skincare company called Joah. Okay, now that is what I'm talking about. Very bronzed. All right, I'm bringing back an oldie but a goodie. This is the Shade and Light by Kat Von D. Still my tried and true. I absolutely love this palette. This is just a really nice flat head brush that is from Luxie, and it's the 1010 Small Contour. And I'm using the middle shade here because that is the lightest shade. I really wanted this video to be like things that you could pick up at Ulta, like everything was something that you could get at Ulta. This palette is not. However, I just remembered I was gonna use the Maybelline one because that one is from Ulta. You can get from Ulta. I'll link it down below, but that's the one that I was going to use, and I just grabbed this, just not even thinking. But I wanted this look to be all things that you can get from Ulta. However, the Huda Beauty palettes are not. So I try. I kind of didn't think this through, I guess. There's just certain things that like I just put in here that I just didn't think about. But you know, you can get like Morphe, and you can get like these essence things, elf. I really enjoy the Morphe brushes if that's kind of like what you're going for, or the Real Techniques brushes are obviously great, both of which you can get at Ulta. Not sponsored. This is the Sliss Glam. What a name. This brush actually got from Ipsy as well. The Ipsy are really, I don't know if y'all have used those before. I stopped using them probably about a year ago, but I definitely, because I just feel like I have enough now. Like I just need to work through what I have. I don't need to keep getting more, but I highly recommend those because it's like $10 a month and you get to try all these different types of products, and you get these really nice brushes too. So, and brands that you wouldn't have normally necessarily come across, so that's really nice, you know. I'm going to grab my sponge and just lightly tap over that. So I'm just gonna grab some of that loose powder and put it right underneath the contour. I just want to put a little bit of lightness under there to really make that contour pop. I'm not going to leave it like that, but I will let it sit in for a bit before I dust it off. This is the Vanilla Cream Truffle 4-color blush palette from VH Cosmetics. I'm grabbing the another Luxie brush, 522. And I always gravitate towards like peaches. But I think just based on like the look I'm going for, I just kind of want to maybe do a little bit more pink, and then like the shirt I have on too, just like more of like a pink vibe. They give a lot of kick up, and I think that they're pretty pigmented. Like, look how quick that was. So I'm just going to dust that off just a little bit. I want to go ahead and do the under eyes. I'm grabbing my Jaclyn Hill palette again, using those same shades that I used prior to, and grabbing that dark brown shade. But this one I really want to be, I'm not going to go crazy just fluffing it all over the place. I really want to be mindful of the placement. I'm actually going to connect it with the little kind of flick that I used on the upper lid with the shadow. I'm grabbing this Morphe E17. Alright, I want to apply black to my waterline to really just make this look come together cohesively and smoky. This is the Glide Gel Liner from LA Girl. And I've actually tried this before. I've actually kind of been using it for about a week now. And I love it. Like, I just love how creamy it is, how easy it glides on, how pigmented it is, how well it stays. All the things. I'm going to use the LA Girl Volumatic. So we used the LA Girl for the liner, now we're using it for the lashes. I do love LA Girl. I think that they have some really great products. I think I may have tried this mascara once, but I wanted to test it out again. And I can tell you right now that I'm not a fan. The brush is just not the best. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's just a really weird feeling. I feel like the brush is sticking. Maybe it's the formula, but I feel like it's like sticking to my lashes and it's clumping them together and not in a good way. It's fine. I just want to coat them so they blend in nicely with the falsies. So now I'm going to do lashes, and I have this faux mink pair. So I'm using the Duo Rose Water and Biotin Strip Lash Adhesive. Oh, those are pretty. They're very, very natural looking. It kind of looks like I have lash extensions, honestly. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with some highlights. So I'm using the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Pearlized Highlight in Flexitarian. This one, now I have used this before in the past, and it's very intense. And if you're going to use a brush, like, you just have to be really careful because it's just crazy intense. Alright, I'm going to dust off that bake that we had underneath. I'm just going over the lash band a little bit with that liner. I'm thinking a red lip today, of course, just to go with the look, the vibe, with the, I mean, you could definitely do a nude and that would be absolutely stunning with a smoky eye look like this. First, I've got this lip liner from LA Girl. Again, I love their products. This is the Ultimate Lip Intense Stay Auto Liner in Unlimited Wine. Love that. And I'm gonna line the lips. And now I have two products. I have this one, which is the Ultimate. It's funny, it's the same name, but it's Maybelline, and it's in the shade More Ruby. And it's not a liquid lip, it's just like a matte lipstick. It's a little bit more Christmassy than I was going for, so I think I might go over it with this liquid lip just to brighten it up. I'm going to spray myself down, trying to avoid the eyes so that I don't mess up that liner I just applied. Just use whatever to fan it out, and we're done. Alright y'all, this is the finished look. I went ahead and straightened my hair, got my stuff together. So I hope you really enjoyed this video testing out new products. If you like this type of content, definitely give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!